I have diagnosed borderline personality disorder, and today I want to invite you to take a trip into my head. My goal with this video is to help people understand why we react to certain situations the way we do, and just kind of where some of our strange behaviors come from seemingly innocuous interactions. There's a tool that most humans use in this world, and it's called assumptive reasoning. Assumptive reasoning is making a conclusion based on limited information. This has to do with our hardwiring, right? We understand the world to be a certain way so we can make therefore statements. We're assuming that something is one way because there is evidence that that's what it is. That doesn't mean that it's definitive, but generally assumptive reasoning gets us a lot of places. Us borderlines are not super good at assumptive reasoning with average people because we were not taught how the world works properly. Something got messed up along the way, or the world was just very cruel to us. So we learned to be extremely careful. We learned that if we're not careful, we're gonna get hurt badly. A really good example of assumptive reasoning that might affect us would be, my partner came home quiet, therefore, they must be tired from work. Your partner has come home quiet before, under circumstances where there is no conflict, and they told you that they were tired from work. So you can assume that that's exactly what's happening now, because there's no conflict between the two of you, and they simply came home quiet. Nothing happened, right? Not for the borderline. There has been a shift in energy, and our limbic system goes, red alert, find the problem. That will feel very urgent because our body's telling us that we're in danger. And our brains go, my partner came home quiet. Here we go. The list of questions is going to be immediate. And this is how it's going to go. Are they mad? Did they meet someone? They fall out of love with me and they hate me now and don't even want to be around me. That's splitting. We're afraid they're doing to us what we do to them. Are they punishing me? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? And after all these questions, we start to perform. So this is when we act extra lovey. We try to figure out what's going on. And this is very short. If we don't pretty much immediately get the response that we want when we put that bid in, because that's a bid for connection. If our bid gets shut down, it is devastating. Performance doesn't fix it, right? Because it has nothing to do with us. We think we are responsible to manage this partner because at some point in our lives, we were most likely responsible to manage someone else's feelings in some regard, whether that was being the punching bag or being the anchor to which their feelings were fixed. And that doesn't fix it. We start to ask. And these stages, they're not necessarily back to back to back. There can be many minutes to hours in between these. We will start to ask and we'll go, hey, is everything okay? And they'll go, yeah, I'm just tired. And you go, they won't let me in. They're not telling me the truth. So you ruminate on that for a little while and you're getting really dysregulated. This is stressing you out because they're unhappy and this needs to be fixed now because we're in danger, right? So we ask again, are you sure everything's okay? I'm sensing something. And this time they don't respond so casually because they're tired. They go, yeah, I'm fine. Stop asking. Or why are you asking me so many times? This is not somebody who's aware. This is just a way that a borderline might communicate with somebody with an average mind. Their response might have just like the slightest bit of tone to it because they're slightly annoyed. And remember, we're extremely sensitive. So sensitive, in fact, that we perceive tone when tone doesn't even exist sometimes. It's really hard to figure out what's actually happening. We are constantly lost, but just going based upon what we know to be true, which is that we're in danger. So that annoyance that we sense confirms the fear. That's a confirmation. They do not like us anymore. They hate us. They've met someone. They never loved us in the first place. This is what our brain and our body is telling us. There's a piece of us that understands that that's not true and that we're behaving wildly, but we can't stop it. And I know that that sounds like an excuse. It's simply not. Try to understand that just because your brain does something doesn't mean that my brain can do that too. We learned different. You were luckier than me. What we're both not lucky with here is that we both have to deal with this. Just understand that at least you don't have to live with it. For as much as you dislike us and can't stand being around us, some of you hate us, we believe those things about ourselves. Nobody hates us more than us. We know. We know. We can learn to love ourselves. We are absolutely lovable. We need to believe that. And we can find that. And that's where we can find some stability and then change our behaviors. It might be a fragile belief, but that doesn't mean that it's not accessible to us. Once the fear is confirmed, this is where the spiral happens. This is where paranoia turns into delusion. We believe that this is true. There are one of 3 ways that this can go when we are unhealed. This is a massive battle at this point. What we have to do is believe that person that told us they're just tired. It's not their responsibility to make us feel better. So we rage or we mourn or both. It can be internal or external, but it's very painful. That's just our partner coming home quiet. I can imagine every other interaction throughout the day and how that might affect us. I am your crazy ex-girlfriend. Thank you for listening. Thank you for stopping by. I'll see you next episode.